This is my yard. This too is my yard. This is also my yard. It's professionally landscaped right now, so we want to see just how well a robotic lawnmower can accomplish the same thing. Is it any good? Can it actually replace my landscaper? Well, this is the review. Stick around. The Luba 2 is said to be ideal for large or uneven yards. Well, it turns out my yard is both. I guess I have a bit of a complicated yard. I have some flower beds up front, a tree, a curbside mailbox, as well as a fence in the backyard that divides a piece of the property in the back and to the sides. So it should make for a pretty challenging assignment for the Luba 2. Spoiler alert, not really. Let's start at the beginning. The Luba 2's claim to fame is that it's versatile and, more importantly, doesn't need a perimeter wire to know where your property line ends. That's what intrigued me about it, especially if it's to be doing the work of my landscaper. The Luba 2 comes well packaged in a pretty large box. In there you can find the quick start guide, RTK antenna, mower key, and a box of extra blades. The power brick, the bumper, the RTK antenna itself and pole, the 3D vision camera, and spikes for the antenna pole. Then there's a box with a separate power brick for the antenna, and you can use that if you want to place the antenna in a separate location. Then of course there's the Luba 2 mower itself. Under that is the base station. There's a minor assembly which involves attaching the 3D vision camera up top with the included hardware, and the bumper up front. On the back there is a spot for the key and even a SIM card. Once you've picked a suitable spot in your yard for the base station, you can mount the antenna. In this case, I use zip ties to mount it to the fence and then secure the base to the ground using the provided stakes. Other options include a garage cover to keep the mower protected from the elements and an RTK antenna wall mounting kit, which are sold separately. There are a few variations of the Luba 2 divided into two types. The ones that cut from 1 to 2.7 inches and the other group that cuts from 2.2 to 4 inches. Those two models are broken down based on your property size. There's the 1000 that mows up to 0.25 acres, the 3000 for properties up to 0.75 acres, the 5,000 for properties up to 1.25 acres, and finally the 10,000 for properties up to 2.5 acres. So first you have to decide on whether you want one that cuts from 1 to 2.7 inches or from 2.2 to 4 inches. I prefer a taller lawn and the property is pretty large, so we have the 5000H. The H denotes the model that cuts from 2.2 to 4 inches. The wall adapter for the RTK antenna is if you want to say mount it on the side of your house above the roof. Wherever you're mounting it though, it needs a clear unobstructed view of the sky. So if you have any tall structures, then make sure that the distance between the RTK antenna and the structure or trees is equal or greater to the height of said structure. The two power bricks included in the packaging includes one fast charger that is to be connected to the dock to charge the mower and optionally power the RTK antenna as well. That's how I set it up with both of them by my pool fence. You can put the antenna wherever is convenient for you as long as it has the clearance I specified before. The Luba 2 has a fixed axle all-wheel drive drivetrain to navigate up to a 38-degree slope, a 3D vision camera up top to help with object detection and avoidance, ultrasonic radar, and a cutting width of 15.7 inches. The entry Luba 1000 has a battery capacity of 97 watt hours, while all the other versions have a larger 207 watt hour battery. There aren't really any other major hardware differences between each model besides that and storage. So that's a whole bunch of what it is. Now let's talk about how it actually works. After I plugged everything in and downloaded the Mammotion app and paired both the antenna and mower to my account, in the app you're able to control and track the mower in case anybody with sticky fingers tries to adopt it. Setup was pretty seamless, and once that's done, I was good to go. I named my mower Luba and then I was off to define my property so the mower knows where it needs to go. And one of the most important things you need to think about is if and how you'll be dividing your property depending on its size. There is the obvious front and back, but if you have, say, a gated area, an area with ground cover growing at a different pace, or a curb to mow as well, then you may want to make these separate areas. That's what I did by dividing my yard into 4 areas, each area having their own name and area code. There's the front, back, curb, side, and the rear. So 5 areas. You set an area up in the app by controlling the mower using the app's Bluetooth connection. Control takes a little getting used to, but it's really straightforward. You walk the mower around the perimeter of each area and it maps the borders of the area to be mowed. So you want to get as close as you can to things like structures and fences and the like. So if you have areas like flower beds or shrubs like I do, or pretty much anything. The mower has pretty good object detection and avoidance, but when you add no-go zones, you can have the Luba mow around it regardless of the available light. The mower uses 8 1.5-inch blades on 2 rotary platters to mow the lawn. So off the bat, you know it won't be as powerful as a ride-on mower that mulches and obliterates the clippings, or even a push mower. No, it cuts the lawn. The clippings fall in the lawn, and I think depending on your objective, that's one of the weaknesses of the mower. On a tall lawn like mine, especially in the spring when I first used this mower, the grass was fertilized and was growing really quickly, and I had the landscaper coming every week, so there would be a lot of growth by the next cutting. And the ride-on mower they use are pretty powerful and can mulch, or rather obliterate the clippings. If you simply want your grass to be cut and don't care about clippings, then you're all good to go. It goes over your lawn and at the speed that you set, and even slows down on areas with denser growth. The taller your grass is, the more of these clippings it leaves behind. And again, if you don't care about it, you just want your lawn cut, then it's no big deal. But if you're going for that manicured look, then that can be an issue, at least initially. That's what I experienced as the clippings accumulated and formed clumps over the course of the mowing as they were pulled together under the mower. Those clumps over time sink into the lawn and can restrict growth, leading to dead spots, which is not what you want if you're going for that manicured look. But the solution to that is where I think this mower's strength lies also. Since it's automated, you can have the mower mow as frequently as you need it to and without a peep from your wallet. But seriously, I found that if you have, say, 3 or 4 inches of overgrowth, then it's better to have the mower go over it twice. Once at a higher height to, say, take some off the top. I've done that in a while. But yeah, in, say, a 90-degree vertical pattern, and then once again at your desired height at a 45-degree horizontal pattern. That way you reduce the potential clumps and you get a nice checkerboard pattern as well. It's extremely good at maintaining, and that's just one of the ways you can use it to get the results you want. It's currently early summer and the lawn has been fertilized again, so it's growing pretty quickly. I have Luba roll out every 5 days to keep it looking good. Traversal is another thing that the Luba 2 does well. My yard has a pretty decent slope on the side, and it is able to navigate it horizontally and vertically without issue. I don't see it having any problems with slopes. The wheels are a hard plastic and have enough grip to have traction not be an issue. With that said, it's a robot, so patterns are its thing, and it travels pretty much the same route to and from the charging base station during the sessions. So it works about 2.5 to 3 hours till the battery gets down to 15% and needs to recharge. It needs about an hour to get from 15% to 8%, at which point it resumes the task. The robot can either take a direct route or follow the perimeter to charge and to get to the task area. But regardless of the route it takes, since it's traversing over the same areas over and over again, there's bound to be some wear. You can see it in the areas in front of the dock and the other areas, like the path it takes through the gate to get to the other areas of my yard. I had to spread some extra grass seed and fertilizer along the path to make sure it doesn't go bald. So now we've talked about what it does, let's talk about how well it does it. And the Luba 2 passes with flying colors. I'm able to either create a schedule, whether it be weekly, like every Tuesday, or if that's not enough, I can have an interval, like say every 5 days, and I don't have to think about it anymore. The mower automatically starts, recharges when the battery is low, and resume when it's recharged. It's seamless and quiet. It's barely audible when working. It mows around my flower beds and under the tree line without me needing to do anything. It also has a nice even cut pattern with narrow stripes that looks pretty unique. Though there are a few missed blades of grass here and there, so it's definitely not perfect. It's not enough to detract though, and if you go over the lawn twice to create, say, a checkerboard pattern, it's a non-issue. But in the name of completeness, it has to be mentioned. Still, the neighbors are fascinated by it, and I've seen so many people recording it because it looks so cool doing its thing. To mow the roughly 0.6 acres that I have defined, it takes about 12 hours, and that's with recharges and the mower moving at the max 0.6 meters per second, or a little under 1.5 miles per hour. But keep in mind that's because I have so many defined zones and it can't be done in one fell swoop, just up and down repeatedly. So it's not entirely efficient. As you can guess though, that takes it into the night when it's dark, but I haven't had any issues with it operating in the dark. I make sure to clear any obstacles off the lawn because when it gets dark, the 3D vision capability doesn't work, and while large objects are detected by the sonic radar and bumper pretty reliably, I've seen where certain slender or oddly placed objects are not always detected when only using the sonic radar in darkness. There are a few scratches on the mower to prove this, but it's built pretty solidly, so I think it can take it. I will say though, it's nice not having to pay a landscaper and not having to wait on a specific day for my lawn to be cut. It's even better not having to dedicate hours of my time to cut the lawn. The mower does a great job, so I haven't missed my landscaper. Well, until it comes to hedging. It's only a mower after all, so it can only get so close to things like walls, trees, fences. So you'll inevitably have to break out that trimmer to take care of them. I do that about once a week or so. It takes me about 30 to 45 minutes on our property, but I don't particularly mind that. That's a personal thing though, but that's something that someone considering getting this mower will have to think about. One bit of maintenance necessary is that you'll need to change the blades every so often depending on the type of grass you have and how often you use it. It took me about 1.5 months until I noticed the blades starting to get a bit dull, so I just flipped them around. You don't even need to replace them the first time. Just flip them around. That's a nice way of extending the life of the blades, I will say. I think it'll be helpful for the app to remind you to change your blades every so often. At the end of the day, Mammotion sent me this mower to review, so I guess my experience boils down to one real question. Would I be happy if I had bought this mower myself? And the answer is a resounding yes. It's pretty awesome, quirks aside. I've left links in the description for anyone who wants to learn more about the Luba 2 or to get one yourself. Let me know your thoughts about robotic lawnmowers in the comments and if you would ever use one. Thanks to Mammotion for sending the Luba 2 out for review, and thank you for watching. Until next time, this has been your friendly neighborhood villain man saying be safe and peace.